Hello, and welcome to the English Listening and Speaking YouTube channel, the channel where we help you learn English in a simple, useful, and real way. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. If you're someone who wants to improve your English, listening comprehension, and speaking confidence, then you're in the right place. Today's episode is called Listen Up: The Power of Active Listening for Fluent Speaking. This is a very important topic because truly understanding what you hear is the foundation for speaking well. Maybe you hear English words but struggle to catch the full meaning in conversations. Maybe you miss details in movies or podcasts. Does that sound like you? If yes, don't worry. You're not alone. Many students find listening challenging, especially to fast or natural speech. They might focus only on individual words and miss the bigger picture. This episode is made for English learners, especially around the B1 level, who want to transform their listening from passive hearing to active understanding and see how this directly boosts their speaking. Active listening isn't just about hearing, it's about engaging with the language. In this episode, I will talk about what active listening really means, why it's the secret ingredient for better speaking, how you can start practicing active listening today, and simple exercises you can do daily to sharpen your listening skills. This episode will be easy to understand and full of ideas you can use right now. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully. You can also try to actively engage with what I'm saying. Let's begin this journey together. It's time to listen up and power up your English. What is active listening? Now, let's talk about something fundamental. What do we mean by active listening, and how is it different from just hearing? When we learn English, we often think about speaking, reading, and writing, but listening, true active listening, is often overlooked, yet it's so powerful. Many people hear English all the time. Maybe you have the TV on in English, or listen to English music in the background. That's passive hearing. Your ears are picking up sounds, but your brain isn't fully engaged in understanding the meaning, the context, or the nuances. It's like having a radio on in another room. You know it's there, but you're not really following the program. Active listening, on the other hand, is a conscious effort. It means you are fully concentrating on what is being said, not just the words, but the message, the tone, and the intent. Imagine you're trying to understand directions in a new city. You wouldn't just passively hear the words, you'd focus, maybe ask questions, and try to visualize the route. That's active listening. When you actively listen, you are focusing, paying full attention to the speaker, understanding, trying to grasp the main ideas and supporting details, responding, internally or externally. You might nod, make mental notes, or even predict what the speaker will say next. Remembering, processing the information so you can recall it later. Think about it like this. Passive hearing is like looking at a picture. Active listening is like stepping into the picture, exploring its details, and understanding its story. You're not just a bystander. You're an active participant in the communication process, even when you're the one listening. Many learners get stuck because they focus too much on understanding every single word. This can make you anxious and cause you to miss the overall message. Active listening encourages you to listen for the gist, for keywords, for intonation, and for the speaker's purpose. It's about understanding the forest, not just counting the individual trees. So, the main message here is this: active listening is a skill you can develop. It's about intentional, focused engagement with spoken English. It's more than just letting sound waves hit your ears. It's about making meaning in the next part. we'll explore why this skill is absolutely crucial for improving your speaking. Why active listening is key for speaking fluency. Now, let's connect the dots. Why is active listening so incredibly important if your main goal is to speak English more fluently and confidently? It might seem like listening and speaking are separate skills, but they are deeply intertwined. First, active listening is how you absorb the natural sounds of English. When you listen actively, you're not just learning vocabulary, you're learning pronunciation, intonation, the rise and fall of the voice, rhythm, and stress patterns. Think about how native speakers emphasize certain words or how their voice goes up at the end of a question. You pick these things up naturally through careful active listening. When you start to internalize these patterns, your own speaking will sound more natural and fluent. Second, active listening helps you learn how words and phrases are actually used in real conversations. Textbooks can teach you grammar rules and vocabulary lists, but active listening shows you language in action. You hear how native speakers connect ideas, use idioms, respond to questions, and tell stories. For example, you might learn the phrase, "on the other hand," from a book, but by actively listening to conversations, you'll understand when and how to use it naturally to present a contrasting idea. This contextual learning is far more powerful than just memorizing definitions. Third, active listening improves your comprehension, which is essential for good conversations. If you can't understand what the other person is saying, how can you respond appropriately? Active listening helps you follow conversations better, catch nuances, and understand different accents. This means you'll feel more confident joining in because you'll have a better grasp of what's going on. You won't be as afraid of misunderstanding or saying something irrelevant. Think about how children learn their first language. They spend years actively listening to the people around them before they start speaking fluently. They absorb sounds, patterns, and meanings. Their brains are like sponges, soaking up the language through intense listening. As adult learners, we can tap into this same powerful mechanism. Furthermore, when you listen actively, you build your internal English voice. You start to think in English more, and you get a better feel for what sounds right. This internal sense of the language is crucial for spontaneous speaking. You won't have to translate from your native language as much because you'll have a richer database of English sounds and structures in your mind ready to be used. So, to sum it up, active listening feeds your speaking. It provides the input, the sounds, the vocabulary, the grammar and context, the conversational flow that your brain needs to produce output, speaking. If you want to improve your spoken English, you must become a better active listener. It's not just about practicing your speaking muscles, it's about training your listening brain. In the next part, we'll discuss practical ways you can start practicing active listening today. How to practice active listening. Okay, we know active listening is important, but how do you actually do it? How can you move from passively hearing to actively engaging with English? Here are some practical strategies you can start using. First, set a clear purpose for listening. Before you listen to something, a podcast, a video, a conversation, ask yourself, what do I want to get out of this? Are you trying to understand the main idea? Are you listening for specific information? Are you trying to understand the speaker's opinion or emotion? Having a purpose helps you focus your attention. For example, if you're watching a news report, your purpose might be to understand the 3 main points of the story. Second, minimize distractions. Active listening requires concentration. Find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Put away your phone, close other tabs on your computer, and give your full attention to the audio or the speaker. It's hard to listen actively if your mind is jumping between different things. Third, listen for main ideas, not every single word. This is a big one for many learners. Don't panic if you don't understand every word. Focus on grasping the overall message. What is the speaker trying to say? What are the key points? You can often understand the meaning even if you miss a few words, thanks to context. Once you have the main idea, you can then try to fill in more details. Fourth, pay attention to signposting language. Speakers often use words and phrases to guide the listener. These are called signposts. Examples include first, next, however, in conclusion. The main point is, learning to recognize these signposts can help you follow the structure of what's being said and understand the relationships between ideas. Fifth, try to predict what's coming next. As you listen, try to anticipate what the speaker might say. This keeps your brain actively engaged and helps you process the information more deeply. Even if your prediction is wrong, the act of predicting makes you a more active participant. Sixth, take notes, if appropriate. For some types of listening, like lectures or informational podcasts, taking brief notes can help you stay focused and remember key information. Don't try to write down everything. Use keywords, short phrases, or simple diagrams. Seventh, summarize what you heard. After listening, try to summarize the main points in your own words. You can do this out loud to yourself, or you could write a short summary. This is a fantastic way to check your comprehension and reinforce what you've learned. If you can't summarize it, you probably didn't understand it as well as you thought. And finally, don't be afraid to listen multiple times. If you don't understand something the first time, listen again. You'll often catch more details on the second or third listen. You can also try listening with subtitles or a transcript first, and then listen again without them to see how much more you understand. These are all ways to make your listening more active and intentional. It takes practice, but the more you do it, the better you'll become. Remember, active listening isn't just a passive reception of sound. It's an active construction of meaning. In the next section, we'll look at some simple daily exercises. Simple daily active listening exercises. Now that you know what active listening is and how to practice it, let's talk about some simple, fun exercises you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. Consistency is key, so even 10 to 15 minutes of focused active listening each day can make a big difference. The main idea challenge. Choose a short audio clip, a news segment, a podcast excerpt, or a short YouTube video, 3 minutes long. Listen to it once. Then, try to state the main idea in 1 or 2 sentences. You can say it out loud or write it down. Then, listen again to check if you got it right. This trains you to listen for the gist. Listen and summarize. With a friend. If you have a language partner or a friend who is also learning English, choose a short audio or video clip to listen to separately. After listening, take turns summarizing what you heard to each other. This not only practices active listening, but also speaking, and can lead to interesting discussions about what you understood differently. Podcast or video journaling. Listen to an episode of an English podcast or watch an interesting YouTube video. After listening, spend 5 minutes writing down 3 new words or phrases you learned and how they were used. 1 main takeaway or interesting point. 1 question you still have, or something you'd like to know more about. This encourages deeper engagement with the content. Shadowing with an active listening focus. We've talked about shadowing for speaking, but it's also great for active listening. Choose a short audio clip with a clear speaker. First, listen carefully to a sentence or two, focusing on understanding the meaning, pronunciation, and intonation. Then, try to repeat it exactly as you heard it, mimicking the speaker. This forces you to listen very attentively to the details. What's the emotion? Game. Listen to short dialogues or monologues from movies, TV shows, or audio dramas. Try to identify the speaker's emotion. Are they happy, sad, angry, surprised, sarcastic? What clues in their voice, tone, pitch, speed helped you decide? This helps you listen beyond just the words to the underlying feelings. Dictation practice, short bursts. Listen to a sentence from an audio clip and try to write it down exactly. Then check your written sentence against the transcript, if available, or by listening again very carefully. Start with slow, clear audio. This is intense active listening and great for catching small words and grammar details. Follow instructions. Find a short video or audio that gives instructions. For example, a recipe, a simple craft, tutorial, or directions. Listen and try to visualize the steps or even follow them if practical. This requires very focused listening to understand the sequence and details. Choose one or two of these exercises to try each day. The goal is to make active listening a regular habit. Don't worry about perfection. The more you practice listening actively, the more natural it will become, and the more your overall English skills, especially speaking, will benefit. Remember, you're training your brain to be a better language processor. Motivation and final advice. We've covered a lot today about the power of active listening and how it can significantly boost your journey to fluent speaking. Now, let's talk about staying motivated and some final words of encouragement. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be days when you feel like you're making great progress, and other days when it feels challenging. This is completely normal. The key is consistency. Just like with speaking practice, dedicating even a small amount of time each day to active listening will compound over time. Aim for 10-15 minutes of focused active listening daily. It's better to do a little bit every day than a lot once a week. Remember why you started. What are your goals for learning English? Do you want to travel, advance your career, connect with new people, or enjoy movies and music in their original language? Keep these goals in mind. When you connect your daily practice to your larger aspirations, it provides powerful motivation. Active listening is a vital step towards achieving those goals. Celebrate small wins. Did you understand the main idea of a podcast today? Did you learn a new phrase from a video and understand how to use it? Acknowledge these successes. They are proof that you are improving. This positive reinforcement will keep you going. Don't be afraid to vary your materials. Listen to different accents, different topics, and different types of content, podcasts, news, interviews, stories, songs. This will not only keep things interesting but also expose you to a wider range of vocabulary and speaking styles, making you a more versatile listener. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Active listening is a skill that develops over time. You won't become a perfect listener overnight. There will be times when you struggle to understand. That's okay. See it as a challenge, not a failure. Every time you push yourself to understand something difficult, you are growing. Active listening is truly a superpower for language learners. It opens up the door to understanding native speech, absorbing natural language patterns, and ultimately speaking more confidently and fluently. When you listen actively, you are not just receiving information. You are actively building your English brain. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope you now understand the incredible impact active listening can have on your English speaking and feel inspired to make it a regular part of your learning routine. You have the ability to transform your listening skills, and I'm here to support you. Keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the process of unlocking the English language. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the English Listening and Speaking YouTube channel. I really hope you found these insights into active listening helpful and that you feel more equipped to improve both your listening and speaking skills. Remember, the bridge between understanding and speaking fluently is often built with the bricks of active, engaged listening. Now I have a little challenge for you. Pick one active listening exercise we discussed today, perhaps the main idea challenge or podcast journaling, and try it out within the next 24 hours. Just 10 minutes can start making a difference. The more you actively engage, the faster you'll progress. If you found this episode helpful, I'd be thrilled if you shared it with your friends or fellow English learners. Let's help more people discover the power of active listening. You can share the podcast on social media or send the link directly to someone who might benefit. And of course, if you want more tips, exercises, and encouragement to boost your English listening and speaking, make sure to subscribe to the English Listening and Speaking YouTube channel. By subscribing, you'll get all our future episodes designed to help you learn English in a simple, useful, and real way. Thanks again for tuning in. Keep listening actively, keep practicing, and keep shining. Until next time.